Ugh, there's too much light. My blessed mess forsaken! These fairy tales are lost waves of dark. Try a lifeless dream. I'll do them bleak. I'll craft them dark to make them grim. That's my hallmark. My guts fill up with pretty tales. Their prissy cuteness never fails to make me puke, to lose my wits, to rot my teeth and give me fits. Out the rancid, stale and foul, despise the happy ending. Gross and nasty make me howl, though they may be offending. I'm here to hate tales of night, fear and woe, brave and the light. I ain't dumb luck, a door up tuck. My humble goal is to When a total stranger offers a poor miller vast wealth in return for something of obviously lesser value, should it not arouse suspicion? Of course it should, but today's dunderhead, a man with as much imagination as a lump of coal, isn't even a teeny bit skeptical. There's no way but poorly for things to go for such a dimwit. The miller gathers firewood to supplement his puny income.
Why waste time in the forest? I'll make you rich as Croesus if you give me what stands behind your mill.
A hard bargain, sir, for I dearly love that apple tree. But for the wealth you promise, I give my pledge.
I'll return one day to collect what's mine.
Old Scratch has returned to collect his due. Turns out the miller's daughter was standing behind the mill, beside the apple tree.
Her tears have made her sopping wet. I can't take her like that.
She weeps because she has no hands.
You cut off her hands rather than forfeit your own life. You could have taken her place.
You fiend! I did what I had to do. You've come 3 times, and because she's wet, you've rejected her. Now she's safe. I'll care for her. She will be grateful.
Grateful? I think not. What would you do in her place? Might murder be on her mind? It ought to be, having beat the devil, whose aversion to water is frankly not that well known. The girl is on her own. She has no use for her craven father. Starving, unable to work for food, she happens upon a royal orchard. What luck!
Though it is forbidden, I'll eat just 1 pear to slake my hunger.
You are beautiful, so I will not have you executed for molesting my royal pears. In fact, I love you, despite your handlessness. I'll have some forged of silver made for you. You shall be my wife and queen.
The king is off to war. That's mainly what kings do, and they often do it poorly.
Goodbye, queen. Make the baby a boy. Be nice to mother. See you soon.
Goodbye, king. Dispatch the enemy with ruthless cruelty and hurry home. We'll roast a goat on your return.
Alas, this was not to be, for the devil is first and foremost a mischief maker with no sense of humour. Often the devil altered letters between the king and queen with his own, dare I say, diabolical messages. The messenger is his unwitting dupe.
If this message from her loving husband doesn't result in her death or exile, I will consider changing my career.
The queen has abandoned the palace. Thanks to the devil's work, she thinks the king wants her dead. Once again, she is on her own, though the silver hands provide some assistance.
Nature is fine, though a bath would be nice, and decent walking shoes, and some bread. I wonder what Father is doing.
Thinking of that old reprobate must have cost her.
Don't cry, Father. All is forgiven. You're not the first to sacrifice a child's body parts, and you won't be the last. Is there any bread available?
I'm sure there is. I believe I could get you some for a decent price. Those lovely silver hands will be worth something.
Indeed. Oh, look, there's my husband, the king. Your Majesty, do you still wish to cut out my tongue and eyes?
No, Queen, I want you as you are. Come, let us return to the palace and live happily ever after.
What an extremely large load of bovine excrement. Once again, an adult, a ridiculous excuse for a parent, barters a child's welfare to secure his personal gain, and is not held accountable for his atrocious actions. If you'd like to see father pay a higher price for maiming his daughter, play on. A miller makes a deal with the devil, wealth in exchange for what stands behind his mill. Make it rotten. Let's move! Grimm's smelly now. Secret found in foul water. We should be friends. I'm stinky. Grimm's gross now. it! Now, I'm nasty. Stomp it good. Stupid flippin' gate. Who's your papa? The miller chops off his daughter's hands. The cowardly wheat grinder has no idea that his brutal act will temporarily save her from Satan. He's just looking out for number one. Well, at least someone's suffering. But why should she be the only one? Make it nasty. Do it now! Smell it. What have I detected now? Now I'm stinky. Clandestine as a cockroach on toast. Now I'm gross. Grimm's foul. Now. Grimm's rotten. Now. Grimm's nasty. Now, stomp it! We're all blown in the wind. After abandoning her home, this abused and starving freak happens upon the royal garden and steals a pear. Maybe the guards will stab her. I can hope, can't I? Make it rotten. Do it now! Now I'm smelly. Now stinky. Grave, the worst kind. Now I'm foul. But stop it!
That's disgusting.
Watering grave, the worst kind.
That's disgusting.
The king invites the handless one into his castle. She steals his pears, but the king invites her in, and immediately decides he wants to marry her. A thief with no hands? Perhaps it's a good match, as he seems to have no brains. A fine royal couple. Make it. I'm nasty.
That's disgusting.
Grimm secret found. Now let her send up to liquid puke. Some months after the wedding, the king goes off to war. What's the rush? Oh, that explains it. Babies are fun in the making, less fun in the rearing.
Make it nasty.
Do it now! Now I'm stinky. Now I'm gross. Hardly cryptic. Now who's foul?
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Now I'm rotten. Now who's disgusting? Now I'm repulsive. So deliciously gross. I am suddenly speechless. Even 1,000 words couldn't capture it. Lucifer has more in store for these creatures. He switches the king's love letter with instructions to execute the queen. Switches the letter? Oh, please! Heaven forfend! Gee, Satan, can't you get darker than that? Make it nasty. Let's move! Now I'm smelly. Clandestine as a cockroach on toast. Now I'm stinky.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Grimm's gross. Now. My, what have I detected now? Now I'm foul. Grimm's blood. Grimm's disgusting. Now. Chomp and stomp. See, Satan? That's how it's done, you milquetoast panty waste, you pathetic excuse for an evildoer, you slimy, stupid little... The Queen catches wind of the execution plans and flees into the wilderness. Doesn't look very wild, does it? Let's acquaint her with real torment. Make it rotten. Grimm's stinky now. I'm gross. Now who's foul? An angel rescues the hapless queen from the wilderness. Where was she when the queen's hands were getting lopped off? The logic stinks. Well, no matter. Let's make sure this isn't an easy way out. Make it nasty. But stop. Always a handrail when you need it! Rompin', stompin', butt-kicking good! Grimm secret found! But stop it! Seriously. Why the late save? I mean, you guys could have done something before she got the top. Hey, hey, ah! Stupid angel. Well, the Queen and King are finally reunited. Everyone rejoices. But wait a second. The numbskull father shouldn't get away with his cruelty. Let's make this a reunion to remember. Make it rotten. I'm smelly. Now who's stinky? Grimm's gross. Now. Now I'm foul. Stop it! I'm nasty. Stop it! You bite! Do I look like a goat? Yeah! Let's give her a hand! She needs it for her profound contribution to righteous retribution! Dancing in the rain, despite my migraine, blood's oozing all over, I'm ecstatic again, oh yeah! La-di-da-da, la-di-da-di-da, da-di-da, la-di-da-da, woohoo! No doubt the girl without hands was Fortune's fool, sorely abused by her father and through no fault of her own, made to suffer long by so-called higher powers. But she understood the true meaning of revenge, and when she saw her opportunity, she grabbed it with both hands.
Give me your child as my handmaiden, and you may escape your poverty and live free from want.
It's a deal. She'll be ready to go when you return. What a tool. No fight, no resistance, no balls. Well, she was just his daughter.
I've come to collect your handless, armless child, without arms. Make her stop crying. I'm allergic to salt water.
You've only yourself to blame. She has an endless supply of tears. Would that she could irrigate my wheat fields.
I've no use for a wet woman, but I will redeem your pledge someday.
The miller was such a senseless, selfish lout. He believed he'd outwitted the devil. The girl was driven from home. She sought out the royal garden, thinking the king at least would have some food.
Who interferes with the royal pair of doom? Guards, draw and quarter this wretched thief. Oh, never mind, she's armless. I mean, without arms. She's young, wouldn't have to touch me, and no one else would want her. You'll be my wife. Or would you prefer instant death?
The girl without hands became queen, and the brutal king's willing helpmate. Vicious is as vicious does, I say. Once she produced an heir, he left her in charge when he toddled off to quell a citizen rebellion, murder some peasants, or execute recalcitrant enemies. The devil, altering one of the king's letters home, ordered the queen's execution. Nice work. The queen, motivated by the dire, if faulty, intelligence that she was next on the to-be-dispatched list, hastily made it out of the palace.
Better I should walk this wilderness alone until I die than lose my head to a swordsman's blow. What is that? A spirit? An angel, perhaps? Why have you come? What do you want from me? Where? Shut up and listen. I have plans for you, and I will keep you well and protect you until those plans are ripe. What have I done to deserve your protection?
Nothing. It's what your father has done to deserve my punishment. I will reunite you with your husband and his army. You all will be my instruments of revenge. Finally, a parent will get what he so richly deserves. Thank you, spirit, or whatever you are. She knows that's got to hurt. I never heard the expression, an arm for an arm, but I'm certain it's been said. The world looks no better once justice has been served. Nor no worse either. Perhaps that's just as well. Cruelty, selfishness, and abuse are never excised nor redeemed in a single generation. May all our stories end so well. Until next time.